Flosstube, welcome back. My name is Teresa. This is the Garden Goose Stitcher Flosstube, episode 32, December 11th. It's been busy around here, so I happen to know the date because we got something going on every day. Every day. So, and now I'm paranoid because there's like multiple things we're not used to being busy. I hope you've been busy stitching and getting ready for the holiday season. I feel like it's going to be here in a minute. Is it next week? It's a week after. I'm overwhelmed. Are you? I have not had much stitching time since this past weekend at least. I didn't get any stitching in. If you know anything about Michigan, I live here. And I had to cross the Zilwaukee Bridge 6 times this last week. And I got to do it twice this week. So we've been doing a lot of hockey stuff. It's been really fun and great, but we haven't been home much. So we finally got our tree up. I'll tell you though, I have a lot of finishes to show you, and it's mostly because of the Jingle Ball. Did you go to the Jingle Ball? Did we meet there? Did we date? I did speed dating. I had a really, really fun weekend of the Jingle Ball. And I'm glad I got all that stitching in because from now until forever, I got hockey stuff I gotta do. But I had a wonderful time. I took a class with Liz Matthews, the night tree. I got it finished. I got it finished, you guys. And I just stayed up till like 3 a.m. stitching with friends and meeting new people and just having a wonderful time. I hope you did too. I have heard from a lot of people that they don't even go into rooms. They just hang out in the lobby. They watch the meet and greets or whatever. It was fantastic. I thought that was a great Jingle Ball, and I can't wait till next year. Although there was one point where every single time I had to walk out of this room, I was just kind of annoyed. My husband was like keeping the house clean and doing all the things, but I was like, why are you guys here? I'm considering a hotel next year. Just because, there won't be like chores and stuff there. But, all right, that's it. The weather's been weird. It's like spring here. I don't know. I'm not getting any eggs though from my hens. It's brutal. Well, we've been getting 1 bantam egg a day, which does not feed our family. It's like a 3-for-1 ratio if you're doing egg math and you're baking or something. So we were complaining we went to a function yesterday. My mom had a band concert. My mom's in a concert band. And so they had their Christmas concert yesterday. So I went there, and my sister, my cousin, myself, I don't know, we all have chickens, and we were comparing how we're doing. We're behind. They're all getting like 4 eggs a day. So we were bad mouthing all of our hens. And then last night when we went to get eggs, we sure did get 4 eggs. So they must have sensed it. But we don't supplement with heat or light. So we just let them take an ovulation break, which is fine. But we got some from Tractor Supply, and we hatched out a couple of hens. And it was kind of late in the season. So those girls should be laying, except for one turned out to be a rooster. Like just the other day, I was watching him and I was like, gosh, Coco must be molting. He looks funny. And then he kept crowing, but he wasn't like moving his neck funny. Like, when they crow, they like extend their neck and they like, I'm sorry. Were you here for cross stitch? 1 minute, I gotta tell you about this rooster I got. So anyway, so then I was watching him and I thought, man, he's acting funny. Molting is something I still just don't understand all the way, I guess. And then the next day, Dave's like, I think we got 2 roosters. There's like a miniature Coco out there. And sure enough, we have another Americana rooster, his baby. And then I was like, what's the word on chicken inbreeding? Because like if we have 2 roosters that are father and son, that means somebody in here is his mama. That one's his sister. Anyway, he's beautiful though. Oh gosh, they have the most beautiful like green tail feathers. They're like iridescent. Anyway, so in case you were worried about my chickens, the geese love this weather. They go outside. There's been a lot of rain, puddles. They've been swimming in their pool. They don't mind the cold at all. It's not even that cold actually. It's like been in the 50s, 40s. But if it was freezing rain and they could get in a pool, they would. So they love the cold. They don't care. They don't care. So, all right, now let's talk about stitching maybe. Is that all the updates I have? Probably. I told you about the ovulation going on in the barn, so that's it. All right, so cross stitch. I have one fully finished object. It's from the Jingle Ball, so it's not very unique. A lot of people made one of these. This is Liz Matthews' Santa's Night Tree. I did not print out the pattern because it's dark blue. I've showed it a million times in my Flosstube, and you can go to her Flosstube and all of that. It's finished as a tree. I used a basic gray fabric for the backing. I added this little lace it was stark white, and I dipped it in a cup of coffee because it was just too bright. So I dipped it. I have some like a vintage spool. I thought this one was cute because it has a little gold chain around it. And so I need to glue it. Actually, I need to sand the bottom where I broke it off, and then I need to glue it. But I added the snowflakes. I did the snowflakes around. I did the whole thing. I know I threatened to just leave them out, but I didn't. And I'm very happy. I think he's fun. And I'm going to put him downstairs along the mantle. I think it was worth it. Every time I complain, I regret it because I'm going to love it. So at the Jingle Ball, I fully finished that during my class that was on Saturday. On Friday, I was stitching up a storm, and I was working on, again, there's no like pattern front. It's a pinker and pumpkin quilting, and then this is like the Christmas Eve salt box or something. I'll put a screen grab of it again, but it's just from her website. There's no like pattern front or anything. But gosh, don't you love that? It's on Coffee Tea Dyed 18. And I talked about this last time, how I'd messed these up. Some of them are with 2 strands, some of them are with 1. I think I used the called for, and I sure do love it. I love all of her salt boxes. All of them. So I stitched on this on Friday at great length. And then on Saturday, during my Liz Matthews class, while she was explaining things and talking, I finished it. And then it was like anticlimactic because there wasn't even a room to say, hey, I haven't finished. Because I was by myself. There's no camera on for the attendees of the classes during the class. So I finished that. So fully finished the tree, finished that. Then I was really excited because I had wanted to work on Oh Christmas Tree by All Through the Night. I talked about pulling this out and wanting to stitch along with Jess Como Stitches and Holly. And I know, I think Kathy was going to pull it out. I don't know if she started hers or where hers is. They did a Christmas project parade. It was wonderful. And they were talking about this pattern because they both have it, I think. And so I finished it during the Jingle Ball. I stitched out the rest of Saturday, and I finished it on Sunday. And boy, I had a great time. And you want to know, considering how finicky this pattern is and how much traveling there is or whatnot, I was doing really well, even though I was running my mouth in those rooms or the tables, the stitchy lounges, running my mouth and listening to great conversation and banter and all of that. And somebody said, isn't that hard to stitch on in this room? And I was like, no. And then like not even an hour later, I was like, oh, I have to take off part of a whole branch. I regretted. But other than that, and I feel like that was only because I had just said it wasn't difficult. I wasn't having trouble counting while I was talking. But I love this so much. I have no idea how I should finish this. How? If you have any suggestions, please put them in the description or the box in the comments, because I love a suggestion. There's got to be something. Somebody said to do a stand-up. I don't know about that. Be super tapered, wouldn't it? So then I finished that late Saturday. I think that it was a Zoom room or a stitching lounge with just a few of us. And somebody said, oh, that calls for a new start. And then I was like, well, or I could probably pull out another whip and get to that before the year ends. So I did. It was shot down as even an option, but I did it anyway. I pulled out Brendan Gervais, the holiday hoopla, St. Patrick's Day. I started this during March Mania, and I just stitched on it for a day, but I got quite a bit done. And this was the one that I stitched the 1/1 for the first time in my life, and I did it. It's on Lugana, 28 count light ash gray. This is from a scrap bag that I got from the Stitches and Things retreat. You see that little 1/1 clover on his rump? I had done that for the first time ever on this. It looks wonky, doesn't it? I quadruple checked. I think once it's in a hoop, it won't show that way. I quadruple checked it, and it's right. But boy, without the hoop around it sure does look wonky to me. But I finished this. I think it just took me a little bit of a day. So, I love that. Love that. And now it's ready for St. Patrick's. Well, I had to finish it. After that, I thought about starting something new. But then I thought, no, let's go after the whips. Because once again, trying to go after those whips. So I pulled out this. This was already like ready in a bag because I'd gotten a bunch of. So this whip is assigned to January. I have 2 whips assigned to each month next year. Instead of doing whip go and going along with whatever's called. And then I'm not in the mood for Valentine's Day in October. And so until maybe one day I won't have any seasonal stitching left. Maybe I'll only be doing generic year-round stuff. But for now, so I have this assigned as my second January whip to attack. So I was like, listen, if I could get ahead, that'd be great. I've already stitched the big chart. I'm stitching this little one. I started it as a snow day start, but then you know what? If we're stuck here snowed in, I probably just want to get ahead on whatever I've been stitching. So I found that I can add snow day. I just listen. Can't do it. One day maybe. This is stitched on another scrap from Stitches and Things. It's a 28 count Jobelin. It's called Bone. And I have not gotten much done. And to be honest, I had almost this entire border done. And then guess what? I miscounted. I've been sitting, when the boys have away games, the kids, they all ride on a bus from the school that they're playing for. So for us parents with non-drivers, we still have to drive their happy butts to the bus, sit in the parking lot, wait for the bus, and then drive our butts to the rink, watch the game, drive our butts back to the high school, wait for the bus, because it drives real slow. So, I've been stitching this in the car in the dark, and the mistakes were made, so I've had to redo a bunch, but I'm happy with it, and I love this. I'm using the called for. I don't love, is Jobelin looser than Lugana? This one seems to be a little loosey-goosey. So, I don't know how many pieces of Jobelin are in that scrap bag. I'll make it work, because, you know, it's a nice fabric. But maybe I'll be avoiding that. Maybe I'll be avoiding it a little bit. I'm using the called for. Happy to stitch on that. And once I have that done, I have a whole idea. Anyway, so I think I'm also down to below 30 whips now. With the completion of the shamrock thing. I think, hold on just a second. Don't we want facts? Yes. So I am down to 28 whips. 28 whips. So progress has been made. Significant. And I'm still waiting to decide about my new starts on New Year's Eve. I'm still waiting. Plan on me deciding New Year's Eve. But most of them are, there's a whole bunch kitted up, so it's not like it's going to be a big deal. All right, that's what I've been stitching. 1 fully finished, 3 finishes. Not too shabby. So, I have some haul. I bought some things at the Jingle Ball. I don't have any of them to show. I ordered from Teresa Kogut. I think I got a shipping confirmation today. But the week before last, okay, listen. I was watching Tiger Lily, and I was binge watching Tiger Lily recently because I was behind, and I was watching her episode where she shows Harriet May. I think that's what it is called. And I can't remember what it's called, Mill on the Hill or Floss on the Hill, something like that. And I was like, I want to stitch that Harriet May. A huge sampler. And so I went to searching on the internet for it because, you know, I'm not buying patterns in 2024. So if I'm going to get that pattern and possibly start it, I'm going to have to buy it now. So I went searching for it, and I had a heck of a time. And in my path, there were several patterns that I found. And in fact, when I was getting ready to do this haul, I realized that I didn't actually print out Harriet May, which, by the way, has changed its name to Tabby Cat. So eventually, after I'd bought 7 other samplers, I finally asked a group of friends, has anyone ever heard of this designer? I can't find diddly squat. And they said, oh, isn't that Tabby Cat now? And I said, I don't know. Let me look. And it sure was. So I bought Harriet May. And I'm planning on hoping to start that. But these are the patterns I got on my way to find Harriet. Okay? Oh boy. Listen. Okay, so some of these are printed out from my printer, so you'll have to just acknowledge that the picture's probably correct. This is Elizabeth Canwell, 1795, Samplers and Stitches. This is beautiful. As I was searching, this one just kept coming up, and finally I thought, well, I think it's meant to be. So I bought that one. This one, by Quaint Rose Needle Arts, Mary Amelia's Bird. This is beautiful. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. Is this the same one? No. Quaint Rose Needle Arts. This is Sweet to the Soul, a reimagined sampler. This is beautiful too. This one kept coming up, and gosh, I just love that border. And then Sarah Newman, 1823, Samplers and Stitches. I'm telling you, I just kept finding more. And I think I'm going to be stitching samplers next year. Is that possible? And you know what happened when I was in Denver? Oh my goodness. And do you want to hear something funny? I met a woman in a Zoom stitchy lounge at the Jingle Ball. And she lives in Denver. Her name is Wendy. I do not know what her last name was. And now I feel like maybe she had a Flosstube and I didn't write it down. I didn't take notes. A lot of people took notes. Good. Anywho, so then I was asking her how she can afford to live there with that shop there. And she said actually she'd only tried to be there one time and Google Maps was incorrect. So then she had to send in a fix for everyone so that they wouldn't get lost on their way to a stitching shop. So she's like, so if you've ever been there, you have me to thank because I had Google fix it. And I thought, I don't know if I should thank you. Anyway, so I thought that was funny. So apparently samplers are on my mind. Susan Crothers, 1853 sampler. This one came up aggressively in Etsy when I was looking for Harriet. And then I thought this made it in there somehow too. Where have I been? I've never seen this. I thought that was nice. Because look at those trees with those sawtooth stars on them. I like that. Also, this. When I bought the Santas from Teresa Kogut. I'd watched her Flosstube before the Jingle Ball. She had a like pattern information Flosstube. And so I watched that. I wonder if you just got a glimpse of the entire mess. I'm sorry. It's like a mirror. I watched her Flosstube where she explained her upcoming patterns for the Jingle Ball. And I knew I was going to buy those flying Santas. And so I did order them, and the kits were already out. Listen, I told you, Nate had a game the night of the Jingle Ball, Friday night. And so I didn't get there till like 8 or 9 or something late. So I missed all the kit, like anything good was gone. So before that, I had on Amazon found some Mill Hill perforated paper. It's not black because apparently there's no black perforated paper to be found. It's navy blue, and I like it a whole lot. So I'm going to try to show it. I got the Mill Hill perforated paper so that when those come, like maybe I could stitch one of them. And I just love those little spindles or whatever that they're on from Chantel, and I want to make a special trip over to her shop to see if she has those. I know they were selling like hotcakes. I'm sorry you saw all the junk behind me, but that's the truth. Behind here, it's clutter. Also, my good friend Katie, the Naptime Stitcher, she created this really fun planned pattern purchases for 2025 list. It's on her Etsy. I did not have it last time, even though I said I would, and I didn't. So sorry. But here it is. And so it's really cute, and it's just a list of like the pattern, the designer, and the source, so that one could keep track of the patterns they see. And can I tell you how many testimonies I've heard of people who have done this for themselves, and the end of the year, even the end of like 4 months, the number of patterns that they choose not to purchase that they've kept a running list for, incredible. So we'll see what happens. So I got my list. I also got the Millennial Fabrics November. And why didn't I have this last time we chatted? Oh, it must have been in November. There's her little logo. Okay, so right now I think the only information I have is that it's a Facebook group on Facebook. It's a Facebook group on Facebook. It's called Solitude. And this was like a trial run for her to see how a Fabric of the Month club would be. And did I show this? Holy catfish. If we're all having a deja vu, let's just go with it. Because this is really beautiful fabric. This is a 16 count that I order, and both I've gotten 2 months, and it's been great. However, now it's switching to some sort of like it's going to be in a different, like if you've been getting it, you have to sign up for like the official thing now, and so I'm probably gonna skip it at least for a little while, because guess what, I got into the Coloring Cotton Fabric of the Month. I also received Bee Stitch Me's from August. I ordered these during the Common Stitcher. What? That thing in August that Kia B does on the Instagram. I got this willow. It's beautiful. 22 count. Beautiful fabric. And I ordered this along with the fabric that was out for the Common Threaded. There was like a specialty whatever. Isn't that pretty? Pretty, pretty. And I'd ordered this along with the special one, the limited edition or Common Threaded. Does it say it on there? And it just now arrived. Not another sampler. And this is a 20 count. And it is beautiful as well. So I really, really love that. I've seen this in shops. So I was really, I was thinking about myself. I was thinking to myself at that shop. I thought, Where is mine? Because I did order it. I remember in in the tent at cousin camp ordering these fabrics. So they arrived the other day. I also, if you were at the Jingle Ball, in the stitchy room, the stitchy lounge I was in on Saturday, I think, with cousin Christy. We had quite a conversation, and during that conversation I went ahead and I bought these fly flaps, also known to the rest of the world as fly swatters. They're pretty, they're from Amazon, and look at, they have a perfect stitching whole setup. So I think that there's something to come there. You would know about it if you were in that Zoom room. Oh, and also, last but not least, can you imagine, when I was at Stitch New England, I met Stephanie Racine. Steph. I call her Rhode Island Stephanie, which is not any of her stuff. Any of her, like, names anywhere is not Rhode Island Stephanie, but that's what I call her. It's the New England Stitcher at gmail.com. Stephanie, she does all sorts of stuff. And look what she made me. Can you even look at it. Isn't that so cute? She sent me a message and said, hey, what do you think of this? This is like something she tried out in the in-between section of her wood that she cuts out for other things. She's been making thread winders and I don't know, really cool stuff. And so she had tried this out and she asked me what I thought, and she sent me, oh, sorry for that crinkle, a whole bag of these little buggers. And I was so excited. I have a feeling retreat seatmates will be getting something fun from me. Isn't that so fun? You can find her on Instagram there too, I think. The New England Stitcher. I'm gonna show you up front her her name really fast so you can take a screenshot of it if you like. She is extremely talented sewing and all the crafty things. I have oh yeah, it's not up. Yes, she sewed this like a professional. She's a teacher. She's good. So you should go follow her and watch whatever she's got planned, because I don't know what she has planned exactly, but it's going to be pretty amazing because she's amazing. So anyway, so now I have a needle binder. Okay, that's all. I don't have any plans. I plan to do a lot of hockey driving. My new goal in life, my new goal for 2024, not only to not buy patterns, but also to get my son his driver's license so he can independently drive himself to his 4 practices per week. And maybe to the bus, the game bus. Because it's a lot of sitting around for some of us. But I know these days will go fast and I'll miss them. But it'd be nice if he could drive himself sometimes. That's all I have. My plan is to get through this week. Next week, I think hockey is on a break with that. That doesn't make sense because I still have practice. And then my husband works this Christmas Eve and Christmas Day he works. So if you're flying for Christmas, make sure you treat those people nice because they're not with their families this year. Or, you know, while they're getting you to where you want to go. So, anyway, I'll be back after Christmas, no doubt. And I hope that you have a wonderful holiday season, that you're truly blessed. And I wanted to tell you, thank you, all of you, for your kindness and your lovely comments and your care. And meeting so many of you at the Jingle Ball was extremely humbling, but overwhelming in a good way. I just appreciate all of you, truly. And I hope that you have a very Merry Christmas, and I'll see you soon after that. Happy stitching, friends. Bye-bye.